I'm an arts and crafts master. Why do you think I always have this glue gun stuck to my arm? Ugh, ugh.
He points to embroidery PLS.
Oh my gosh, there's so many streakers in this chat room. Thank you all so much for all of well, thank you Smoothie for the resub, and thank you all for the stream streaks. I appreciate it. Oh god. Brand new hair tie. That feeling when you finally let your hair down. Oh lord. Okay. The puzzle got done. It did. It did. I mean, I hate to tell you, AC, none of you all can catch me. I have the highest stream streak. In fact, I have never missed one of my own streams. I know it might be hard to believe, but I have not missed a single one. I mean, that is pretty amazing. I have a 100% track record. I don't know. Give me 1 second. I gotta grab one thing.
I'm an arts and crafts master. Why do you think I always have this glue gun stuck to my arm? Ugh, ugh.
Who that? James! Hello. Quick chat, hype, darn. Oh, oh god, I never called the plumber and they're calling me. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Okie dokie. Ugh. That figures. I ended up calling my doctor instead about issues with insurance. I have to call my insurance evidently about it. And that was the plumber being like, "Hi, you still have a balance?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I also need to tell you guys that y'all left a mess behind." So, and she's like, "Was it something that was there before?" I'm like, "No." I was like, I know that, like, the cast iron pipe kind of left, like... I was like, my biggest issue was that, like, not only did they leave it, but they didn't tell me about it. I was like, if they had just been like, "Hey, we have another job we have to get to. We left you, like, some, paper towels. We're sorry." Anything else. It was just the fact that, like, I didn't know about it. And it just felt... It felt real bad. Alright, I also got to make James a paper star. Also, James, if you have, like, nothing going on, and you want to call insurance, all the information that they'll need to rerun that bill is on that screenshot I sent you. Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get to it to tomorrow. So, yeah. It was very rude. And, I said to the lady who called to, like, fix up on the bills and everything. I'm like, the guys do great work. They're very friendly. I've never had an issue before. That's why I was so surprised. And she was like, "I'm surprised too." So, again, I'm like, I'm not, looking to cause drama, but, like, it kind of ruined my afternoon. Yeah, evidently, James, the endo said that the insurance was flip-flopped. So it had Aetna as our primary, not TRICARE. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it. So... I hate to say it like this, but all the insurance nonsense is almost the worst part of you being gone. The doctor made a note. Yeah, they said that what we have to do now is contact TRICARE and ask them to rerun it. Like, to rerun the bill. Or to rerun the charge, I guess. And, like, the date, obviously, of the appointment. Yeah, the date of the appointment is there. The doctor, there's even, like, the ID. So, like, the appointment was January 28th, not the May. The May 19th is the due date. So, if you want to call, that saves me a thing tomorrow. If you don't, I'll fight you later. I kid. Anyways, hi. Happy... What's today? Tuesday. Ugh, I have had a crazy morning. I went ahead and I cleaned cat litter boxes already. I took out all the trash. And then I spent an hour and a half typing up my Woobles stuff. I have, like, my pattern was written, but I have to put it now in, like, their terms and their verbiage and all of that. So I'm still not done. I still have more to do, and I still have to mow the lawn. So when I end stream today, like, I will have to scoot. Because I was originally going to mow earlier, but I wanted to at least get started on the Wooble stuff in case I had questions, and it's good that I did, because I did have questions. So, yeah. Do y'all want to see? Okay. I can show y'all a little sneak peek. I got some really good pictures of my little hippogriff, or my little griffin buddy. Oh no, is my bot doing something stupid again? Hold on. Yeah, so there were still some good some good petals besides like all the fallen ones that are really pretty. Also, the color is gorgeous. I need a new camera. This camera blows chunks. Okay? It does a good job of focusing, which is why I picked it. But like, that's the color. Not this. I don't know what this is. This is ugly. That's... Anyway. There's also, we have some, like a tree shot. Because luckily there were still some petals. What else? We got some with their little backpack. Both with the petal and without it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Although, do you know what I realized? I came in, it was actually really good the way that I did this, right? I preheated my oven when I went outside so that way it would be ready for the garlic bread. And I went ahead and, did, like, put the water on, like, a low simmer to, like, try and get it, you know, ready for when I came in to put the pasta in. And, like, all of that, great, beautiful, wonderful idea. Completely spaced on the fact that the cat's auto feeder was going to be going off. So I come inside, and I look at the clock and I'm like, oh god, it's 7:05. Oh god. Artemis is sitting at Pippin's bowl eating. Pippin is sitting at Artemis's bowl eating, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what are you girls doing? I just was like, everyone got a timeout after that. Everyone went into their respective corners. And I cooked dinner. I was like, I cannot believe you guys. Like, what absolute jerks. Like, I love them so much, but oh my god, girls. And they were each just like, do-do-do-do-do. Somewhere... Oh, goodness. Okay. There it is. Okay. Oh. Where's the response to that? There it is. A reverse collar? I could. So the one that we just returned, you could do it that way. The only issue still remains then that collar bit is gonna dangle and answer. Hello? Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway. It is a shame that it's designed so poorly. It will be interesting to see if the one that we have now that's coming, it should be here today, if that one also offers a reverse thing, although that one was like $250. So that's really expensive to buy two of them. It was really expensive to buy one of them. Okay, so two things. Thing one, I have an oopsie update. And it's not what anyone is thinking. Okay? And then we're going to finish a project that is literally decades old, and you might be like, "How, Megan?" Because it was started by my Aunt Shirley. Sat in her garage for decades on end, and when she passed away, I took it. And like the pieces are basically done, but it needs assembling, and there needs to be like a collar made. So like some of the assembly I've done, some of it I haven't, but I want to try. The other issue is this pattern. This is like the state of it is old, waterlogged, and unfortunately not complete. So it actually, I ended up having to like reach out to people. This was back in 2023 to try and figure out more about it. So this is why it's good to keep your patterns with your stuff. Just saying. Okay, first though, the oopsie update. So lately I've been a little annoyed because Oopsie has been eating me out of like house and home. They keep coming by, they clear out the bowl, I put out more food, they come back, and there's a part of me that I'm like, maybe Oopsie's gonna be a mom. I never once considered, chat, that there's more than one Oopsie. What did you learn, James? And I was downstairs. I was downstairs with Maple. Okay? And I saw on the camera and I'm like, oh my god, something looks really wrong with Oopsie. And I went running up the stairs. Chat. Who are you? Who is this like albino Oopsie? You're not Oopsie. Who are you? You're so pale. Oh my gosh, I love you. I was like, I love you already. I feel like they're older, maybe. They call you Grandpa. They call you Gramps. So maybe it hasn't been Oopsie eating everything, huh? There's more than one of you. Can you look up? So its coloring is weird. It's their coloring. Their fur is okay. I was able to get. Is this the other? So, update. It's just like a weird color. I've been saying Oopsie's been coming by and eating all the food I've been leaving for the cats. Except that's not Oopsie. I'll have to like look into like reasons for. And I've turned the camera on and off, or the light on and off to see if they look like Oopsie on the camera, and they don't. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch
because we have a little man. They're so scruffy. Look at them. Oh my gosh, I love them. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Yeah, possums, they don't have very long lives, I know. Honestly, most of what gets them is cold.
Hi.
And like not being able to find food or survive winter.
Look at you. I'm sorry, I don't want to scare you.
I don't know if I have. And then, hold on. Hold on.
This is very important. That's Oopsie.
There's Oopsie.
We have two of you. Yeah, there's two of you. You're completely... Hi, Bubba. Okay, I'm not going... You know, honestly, I'm a lot less upset now that you've been coming and eating all the food, because it's not just... It's not you. It's you and your buddy. Okay, well, enjoy.
Yeah, like if you look at their coats, they're very like wiry. Like it almost seems as though they have white hair at the base and then it's dark as it gets longer. And the other Oopsie seems to just have light all the way. Like if you look, I know that you said it almost seems like they're scarred. They have fur everywhere that Oopsie has fur. It is just the coloring, it's light versus dark. So he just has like very light features. I don't know why. I don't know why that would be. Yeah, if you look, he's got, hold on, there's a point where I think he looks at the camera. Like, it very much makes me think of, like, albinism in animals, where, like, especially with certain kinds of animals, when they don't have, oh yeah, here, when I zoom in, you can see, like, he still has all the fur there. Like, he's still furry. He's just doesn't have, should we call them Whoopsie for winter Oopsie? Or, yeah, I don't know if opossums can, do they, I mean, I guess any animal, can opossums have all eyes? Opossums can experience pigmentation disorders. Specific cases of vitiligo in opossums are not well documented. However, they can exhibit other conditions like albinism and xanthochromism. I don't know what that word is. I've never heard that one. Let's Google it. Abnormal coloration of feathers in which yellow replaces the normal color. Pippin, that's not your food. Yeah, get. Yeah. You pooped in my office, and then you ate her food. Stop it. My God. These animals. Whoopsie and oopsie. He could also have quite a bit of winter coat under. That's, yeah, I don't know. Do opossums shed? They do shed fur like most mammals. Pippin, stop being a menace. Yeah, it could be like a recessive. That's leucistic is like the lions or the tigers who are white. Is that right? I think that's. Hold on. Which refers to a genetic condition in animals that results in a partial loss of pigmentation, leading to white, pale, or patchy coloration of the skin, hair, feathers, or scales, while eyes retain their normal color. That's true, yeah. Which is different from albinism, which is a lack of melanin. So it could be that too, because he doesn't have like blue eyes or anything. Who knew domesticating Pippin would make her become such a menace? This reminds me of when we learned about kiwi birds forever ago. Kiwi birds, their bodies make no sense. Ah, everything about them. Pink or red eyes. Blue eyes or normal eyes are... Oh, okay. Yeah, so I will definitely keep you all informed and up to date on what ends up happening with these two. Oh. What do opossums go gray with age? They can go gray with age, particularly as they reach 2 years old, which is considered old for them. That's not fair. Why are they so short-lived? That was what we were freaking out about, Sharn. That was what we were freaking out about, was the egg. Like the bone structure of a kiwi bird, the size of an egg in a kiwi bird. Like, yeah, I know, it's like rats. It's not fair. Did you know that opossums are the only marsupial in the US? I think in all of North America. Like, I don't think that Canada has any other marsupials either. It could be a grandpa. Yeah, I don't think that Canada has anything different. Yeah, they're native to this. Also, I saw that you asked if we have a lot of opossums. These are the only two that I've ever seen in this area. However, they are, like we were just saying, native to, like, the US, if you will. So they are, like, seen here in a lot of different environments. Like, it's not just warm environments, cold environments. Like, we have all 4 seasons here. So, like, we have sometimes in a week. Sometimes we put the air conditioning on because it's, like, in the 90s, and then we have to put the heat back on because it's in the 60s, or it's in the 60s during the day and it drops down to 35 at night. So I want to I want to catch them. How long do they live in captivity? How long do opossums live? Oh my gosh. How long do opossums live in captivity? Can live up to 4 years in captivity, although some may reach up to 10 with proper care. And that is why I don't mind them eating here. Hell, if they want to stay in our heated like the heated cat houses to stay warm in the winter, done. Like, so easy to me. Because, like, what do you mean? I'm gonna get so many opossum ads. Oh gosh. Oh. You know, you're right. I'm okay with it. I saw Birch last night for the first time. That's what I'm hearing too, Curious. And listen, opossums, here's the thing, right? Some people think that animals that are ugly or not cute or whatever are like nuisances. Fun fact, possums cannot get rabies. They also eat a crap ton of ticks. Which are dangerous for a lot of reasons. They are also one of the only animals that can kill and eat venomous / poisonous snakes and not be killed. They're kind of... Honestly, they kind of scare me a little. Cause like that's... If we had them here, rattlesnakes would be doomed. But seriously, they are little vacuum cleaners. They are. And you know what? Raccoons and also opossums are omnivores, which means that they eat everything. Trash. Animals, vegetables, deceased animals. Like they are just they're the Wall-E of animals. You know? I want to see real quick if I plop this. If we plop this into Google Lens. That's the pattern. I wonder... Wait, is this says crocheted. No. Oh no, it's knit though. It's a knit pattern, not a crocheted one. Are you No. I want this. Show me this link. This is the link? That's not the link. All right. Let's pull this out, okay? So, Aunt Shirley had made, I think they might. I feel like they might be, but I'm not 100% sure. So, Aunt Shirley made all the parts with this funky yarn, okay? We've got both sleeves made. Okay. We have the body made. Okay. I've got the pattern was written like you could size it up or down. And the fun thing is that technically it would fit James or I. So like, you know, it's got pockets too, or it has space for pockets. There's no actual pockets made. But it is like an adult size jacket. So let me okay. And here hang on. Here's the envelope that was included with it. Stamped 1979. And then there's notes. Technically, actually, I forgot. My Aunt Shirley did not make this. Her sister did. Ethel did. And Ethel actually passed away before she finished it, and Aunt Shirley took it, and then Aunt Shirley never finished it, and I remember bringing it up to her one time and being like, what's in that box? And she was like, nothing. So this is like a couple of... So yeah, this is my issue. I have the pattern. I have no photos. Okay? I actually learned how to make this pattern. I learned how to knit this pattern because I didn't know if I was going to have to do any more. So this is the pattern. It's 2 strands of yarn together. So this is a gray and a blue together. And up here is a gray and a white because I ran out of the blue and the white because I ran out of gray. So I learned how to make it. Oh, and there's also, there are some pockets made as well. So what we have to figure out now is there's a belt that you can make with this. You can use buttons. I think that there are buttonholes in the jacket. No, there wouldn't be. There wouldn't be. Actually, this is what I remember. This is where I was so confused with this, is she has obviously chosen red as the accent, right? I have all the yarn. Oh god. I have all the yarn. This was the box that was in her garage. And it's been sitting under my bed. And I want to finish it. So one of the things though is that it says front pocket insert, left front start, armhole shaping, shoulder shaping, neck, front button band. With right side facing and working over end stitches of rows, starting at next edge with double strand of yarn, pick up and knit 47 stitches down the front. So you would pick up approximately every row they're showing you. And then you're supposed to do 5 rows of a button band, and then you have to do then there's a front like that's why I wish that there was a photo, because like I got this, but I've not been able to find and then there's a hood, evidently. The hood has not been made, so the hood will not be made. Because in my mind, I don't know that she planned to make a hood with this. Because this is like an adult-sized version versus a child-sized one. So I wonder... Google Images have come a long way since even the last time that I started doing all of this. I wonder if I... do this, if it can give me more. Search. No, I don't need... Would you like me to clarify any of the knitting abbreviations? No. No. It is... So it is just knit. It is... What is going on with my bot? Why is it not on? Enjoy your shower. So... So this is the pattern here. The bot is on now. So you knit the first stitch, then you knit the next stitch in the row below. Then you knit the next stitch and you repeat. So it drops the stitch in like a weird way that makes it that like texture. So, like, maybe if I pull it like this, you guys can see a little bit better. Also, welcome back, James. It almost makes it, like, alternate. So, like, you knit, and then you, like, knit in, like, the one below, and it ends up pulling... It makes, like, a... Hang on. Just the first one about the Etna thing. Oh. I'm so proud that you were a brave boy. I also remember looking into this. Hang on. You know, I would never, ever, ever want to live in New York. Ever. It is too overstimulating. There's too much going on. But this, so my aunt and all the siblings live there. This was sent, okay? And I was pretty sure, I'm like, I don't think this is actually anyone's address. This was a yarn store in New York back in the day. Okay. The building still stands. And it's available for lease. And the way that I'm like, I would never, ever want to live in New York. The stress level, everything, I would hate everything about it. But, like, I kind of almost wish that it was, like, a building that you could go into. Because, like, clearly my, like, people went there. You know? You didn't get a lollipop? I'm sorry. Visiting New York is enough. It's so full of people. Which I know is a weird thing to say. But, like, there's a lot. Alright, so I think maybe what we should do now... This is what I had done at one point, was... The fun thing is, too, I have a ton more of this yarn. So, in theory, I could make, like, a little version of this jacket. I could make something else. I literally had a photocopy I had made that I showed you all at the beginning. Now imagining a moat store with walls covered in various LGBTQ plus Bs and fidget edgies. Yeah. And London, there's some cool things there, but the traffic, the people, and everything, yeah. Feels less icky. I feel like certain big cities, like it depends on the city, honestly. Certain cities probably are not bad. Okay. So I had made a copy here. This was the stuff that, like, left front done, armhole. Like, these were the things that were, like, done. I had highlighted it. These were all pins that I found in this sweater. So yeah, this is... What I need to figure out now is the bands. Yeah, my parents grew up in New York. They lived in New York. I was born there, wasn't raised there, but like it's a lot. All right. So let's see. We did arms are done. Shoulders are done. Pocket insert is done. The left front and armhole are done. Neck shaping. Let's take a look. Okay. Maybe not done. Maybe done? Oh gosh, this is so busy to look at. That's better. Here's the yarn, by the way, if anyone would like to see. Because I think this is just as fun. Okay. This is Quaker Yarns. The labels are like coming off. New Tangle Proof Pole Skein. This is 100% acrylic. Machine washable, dryable, non-allergenic, resist pilling, moth proof. Purchase sufficient amounts of this yarn at one time to complete the article. Listen, they told you even back then about dye lots. All your laundering stuff. Flagstone tweed. This is your dye lot. Quaker Yarn, New York, New York. Spun in the USA. Moths don't tend to eat like stuff that's not natural. Like acrylic tends to be safe from that, whereas like wool tends to be what they go for. Now, this has obviously been in like a waterlogged thing. Everything that is made from this needs to be like, you know, washed. Because it's also, it feels like wool. It is not the most, it's not the nicest feeling. But that's also probably because it sat in a box probably since the 70s. This is such a 70s look. Like, the colorway, everything about it, you know? Reckon you can get more of that dye lot? Maybe. Thank you for that watch streak. Yeah, they don't like plastic. Also, ads are starting. How? How have I been live for an hour and I've done nothing? All right. During this stretch break, I'm going to figure out... I think that this is where we're going to have to start, is this button band. And I'm going to need your help to figure this out. Okay? Now, since this pattern was written in the 70s and I cannot find a copy of it anywhere, I'm okay with sharing... Like, I'm not going to share the whole pattern with you, but I'm okay with sharing the bit that I'm confused on because... Yeah. Anywho. I guess we're going to take a stretch break. Do y'all want me to get a puzzle going for you while we're doing this, or we're invested and locked in? Yeah, organic stuff. Like, it's a video and I don't know why. I've done that before, Allison. Dang it, animals only wanting that. I mean, it's a good thing. It's truly a good thing because it's kept this from getting destroyed. So, alright, I'll be right back. We'll try and figure this out. See you in a few. hello. Okay. So, what I have learned on this ad break. There are 8 stitches on each front and 15 on the back. I'm wondering if maybe there was 16 somewhere at some point. Doesn't matter. I'm thinking that it was left. This is why I wish I had a picture. Because I don't know how to do the button band. Starting at next edge. All right, here we go. First row with right side facing, working over end stitches of rows. So maybe it is that. Starting at next edge. Okay, okay. With double strand of yarn, pick up and knit 47 stitches. 53, knit the number of stitches down front edge, picking up stitches approximately every row. So wait, if there was supposed to be a hood, that's left for the hood. She was going to make a hood. Those stitches... Wait. Where's the hood? Those are sleeves. Shape cap. Oh, Lord. Hood. There's the hood. With right side of jacket facing, starting at right front edge, in front, bound off stitch, including or inside of a border with double strand, pick up and knit a stitch in each of 3 bound off stitches at next edge. Pick up and knit a stitch in each of the next 3 bound off stitches. Or then at the, okay. So there was supposed to be a hood. These stitches were left for a hood, which means now that the button banding just goes up the front, right? It would stop here if there's supposed to be a hood. So we now know that the red button banding should just go on the front panels. Okay, that's something. So we can do the button banding. We can also do the pocket banding, because the pockets evidently get a little knit red right here. So we can do those 2 things. There is no hood made. Right? There is no hood made. There's so many skeins of this yarn in partially finished stages. There is no hood made, which means that I have to relearn how to do this. Hey James, since this would fit you better now, because I've gained weight. Would you want a hood on it? Or would you rather have like a collar on it? Of course he wants a hood. All right. Dang it, James. Okay. So I thought that the correct answer was no. It's fine. All right. It's fine. I have to relearn how to do this pattern. That's the issue. Because I don't remember. I learned it a really long time ago. I don't know why. I kind of stopped because I started panicking about messing it up. There's also like the start of a belt. Yeah. I will definitely be knitting a swatch. But first we're going to do the bits that we can do. Which is the edging. I'm so confused right now. I am... You know, it's funny. I don't remember. I feel like I was knitting this. I feel like this was not done by Aunt Shirley. Well, technically none of it was. Technically this is all done by my Aunt Ethel. But I am worried. This is all the red yarn that I have. And there's a bit of me that is worried about running out. So. Okay. So we're going to start from the other end. In order to do this. If I can keep the belt, I will. If I can't, then I'm not gonna, because I would rather have the sweater be finished than like, especially if there's going to be buttons. To me, a tie around is not needed. All right, let's look at the pocket band. Okay. 10.5. Do I have longer ones? Oh god. Fun fact, this here and all of the metal needles in this are my Aunt Shirley's. Knitting does usually, yeah, yes, you are correct. I'm like, where the heck is the other needle? On the pockets. I think I have to redo the pockets. This is a size 9 needle. The pattern calls for 10.5. There was a 10.5 in here. I don't know. I don't know which one I did it on. The good news is that I can also make a swatch. And if it ends up being the same size, I don't have to. It did seem kind of small. Maybe? I don't know. Hang on. Ten and a half. Okay. Temporarily. This is interesting to me. I don't... This side has no... Okay. Okay. You're the side that has things that I need to grab. Because there are stitches here that are left unworked. And that is because they will become the pocket, like, brim, if you will. And I guess that they just had it, like, tacked up against the other, like, this side here. That's what I had to make sure of. There's no stitches that I'm going to undo this red thread and all of a sudden have, like, you know, a mess. So that's good. It's just this bit here. What's also kind of a bummer, like this is going to be a true one-of-a-kind piece, because they didn't make any notes about what they did for sizing for any of this. Unless this is just like the largest size. There's no notes on it. Yeah, I was thinking about this project the other day when I was cleaning, and like I saw the box. The box has been living under my bed since we moved. And I was like, you know, even if I mess up, this doesn't deserve to be sitting in this box for decades more. Like, even if it's not the most beautiful work I could have done. It's lived in this cardboard box long enough. I never knew who it was intended to be given to. I do know that Aunt Shirley would love that James would have it. She loved James. Oh my god, did she love that boy? She was awesome, yeah. Oh, fingers crossed, Petrichor. I hope that they have something. It deserves to be finished, lived its life. Mm-hmm. Agreed. And hopefully Ethel, who started this project, won't be angry. I know she wouldn't. I didn't know her as well as my Aunt Shirley. Technically, she was also my aunt. My grandmother had a bunch of sisters. So she was, all of them are technically my great aunt. My Aunt Shirley is technically my great aunt. She was my grandmother's sister. So Ethel was also my great aunt, but she passed, like, I don't even remember. I don't really remember her. So. I should text my mom. And be like, come to stream. Hi, silly. How are you? It is a sweater, yes. It is one that my great aunt had in her garage for literal decades. That her sister had started, and it never got finished. And so when my aunt passed away, I took it. With the intention of finishing it. It was mostly done. The issue. Okay, here's a fun little. There we go. But yes, this is a sweater from 1979, sent to a yarn shop in New York. There's no photo of of what the finished product is. there's just some information that I have been able to glean from different things. And so it is very much a... We're trying to figure it out as we go. The panels of the sweater were all done. So like the front panel, the back panel were done. The pocket binding, like the pockets, and then the binding were not done. And the pattern also calls for a hood. Ooh. Hey, James, I might have to... I don't know if I can do a hood. I'll have to see if I can figure out what their numbering was. I don't know how they made this the size that they made it. So I might not... I don't know what their math was. I don't know the math that the girls used. Like... I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, knitting is a different beast. Let me... Hold on. Come to stream. I'm working on an Ethel and Shirley project. Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So the pocket band here says that there should be 12 and there's 14. So it's not... Okay. Thank you. With right side facing, you had to slip the stitches from the stitch holder onto needle. With wrong side facing, tie a double strand of yarn to the first stitch. All right. Hi, Mom. Do you recognize this? I'm really curious if you have any idea about this. This was in this box in Aunt Shirley's garage for decades. It said, "My sweater to Shirley" on it. And then in your handwriting, okay, this is where it gets very confusing. In your handwriting, it says Sandra's knitting. In the envelope, though, Ethel, here are the instructions. I hope they're not too confusing. From Marie, Connie's daughter. And the pattern was mailed to Sunray Yarns in 1979. So I'm like, did Sandra make it? Did Ethel make it? It lived. I mean, to be fair, if you didn't look into it and you just saw it lived in Aunt Shirley's garage on the shelf in a corner. And I remember I had asked her about it at one point, and she was just like, it's nothing. Like, it's, you know, it's an old project. And I don't remember who she said it was. It's a yarnstery, yeah. But it was like, a lot of it was done. The front panels were done, the back panels were done. There's no hood. Pulled up what? The sweater? Hang on, I just pulled a bunch of pins out. Do you want me to hold the sweater up closer? Yeah, give me 1 second. There's one pin somewhere. I got stabbed by these a bunch of times when I had been initially looking at this project. Oh, here. There's also this. This was the project. In the box. It said design 621. Back when I had started looking into this, like, the first time, someone said that these were from, like, a newspaper. What did they say, specifically? They said it was a newspaper advertisement that you could, like, get the pattern. There's a pin somewhere. It's playing a tricky game. It's playing a game I don't like. Found it! Okay, we beat the game. Hi, YCC. How are you? YCC! I'm so glad you're here, because you're a knitter, and you might have some ideas. Mom, here's the pattern. It's a sweater. Okay? There are sleeves. They're not sewn on yet, but it was like a sweater, right? Here are the sleeves. Hang on. Boop. With this like red cuff. They're inside out right now. Don't worry about that. And this is the yarn in the box. If any of this sparks anything. It is a good pop of color. I agree. This pattern is from 1979. I feel like Aunt Ethel would have been making that for Aunt Shirley. Yes. It definitely was just in Aunt Shirley's house. I don't think that because she wouldn't have, like, stopped making it, if that makes sense. Yeah, here's the envelope it was in. Peep that. 30 cents. Hang on, I'll send you a picture of the... I don't know why I'm covering up the return address. These people are dead. Not to be, like, cruel. Mom, do you recognize... I'll still send it to you. I'll still send it to you instead of... This might give you, like, the return address maybe might give you some kind of... Aunt Shirley's probably not a fan of the color. Ooh, that would be pretty. YCC, what were you doing today? Sorry, we got distracted. This project is literally decades old, and it has been sitting waiting to be finished. And I noticed it the other day when I was vacuuming. And I was like, you know what? It's time to finish it. So that's what we're doing today. is we're not going to finish it today, but we're making progress. We're figuring things out. We are problem solving. And definitely if you have spoons to try and help figure out, oh my goodness, another raid. A knitting mystery. I am here for any help that that anyone is willing to give, honestly. Oh my goodness, Justin Dane, welcome in. How was your stream? Oh gosh. I'm sorry. It sounds like they weren't successful though. I hope. Welcome in, Raiders. How was your stream today? What were you doing? Little Pearl Drop, hello. T-wee, hello. Dewey, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raids. Y'all are very sweet. Where's my pen? It's lost. It is lost amongst the yarn. There, I found it. Was tried too many times. Oh. Well, I'm glad they didn't get in. Oh, you were crocheting on a spring burb. I love that. Well, you have come in when you're trying to, oh. That's annoying. We are currently working on a mystery project. So my great Aunt Shirley, she was my grandmother's sister, had this box. Oh, that's such a fun idea. Mom, the address that it was sent to was an old yarn store in New York. Sunray Yarns. I don't know if any of the girls worked there. Like that's why, I don't know why it would be sent there. Unless that was that wasn't their store. Because they just did it out of their house. Right? Anyway. So, my great Aunt Shirley, this project had been sitting in her garage for as long as I could remember. And when she eventually passed away, I took the project with me. My mom and I did most of the clean out of, their house, and my job was sorting, all of the yarn and the projects and the things like that, because I'm the primary crafter, I would say, out of all of the, nieces and nephews. But a couple of my cousins also craft, and so I wanted to make sure that everyone got some of her stuff. So, my Aunt Shirley had so many knitting needles. Everybody got a set, like a full set. I, tried to divide up the yarn, and, oh, no worries. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you feel better. I'm just making you a paper star real quick to signify your raid. But thank you again for trusting your community here. Raiders, feel free to let me know what you're up to today. Excuse me, if any of you are crafters, and if so, what kinds of crafts you do. So I took all the projects that were started. I took all of them. And in true crafter form, there's not a lot of information. There is not a lot on, like, so this sweater, for instance, the pocket that I just picked up, okay? Pocket band with right side facing, slip 10 or 12 stitches, right, depending on the size. This is 14. They made this pattern bigger. I don't know how much bigger. I don't know what the mathematics were. So there's a lot of questions. Like I don't know. I luckily know what size needles because it says it in the pattern. But it is a bit of a mystery. I did learn how to knit this pattern because I felt like I might have to at some point. I learned how to knit this pattern a long time ago. I have since forgotten. I'll have to do it again if I can figure out how to make a hood. I have such a tickle in my throat. I might go grab a cough drop real quick. Hang on. One moment. Okay. That's true. We could just make a rectangle. Maybe I can figure out... Wait, let's finish this. Okay. Now we have to do wrong side facing. Tie a double strand of yarn to first stitch. Knit one, purl one, repeat across. Okay. This is why I initially picked up all the stitches with a... Like, I'm not going to knit them on a circular needle, but because I wasn't sure which direction I was going to need to, I wanted one that I could knit off of either way. So we're going to go this way. We're doing 3 rows of knit one, purl one. Okay. Thank you both for those raids. If I know Dane has already run YCC, if you also have to go, please don't let me hold you up. You are welcome to hang out and lurk or chat. But definitely make sure that you do what you need to after stream. All right. I caught something! Yes. We do have Pokemon here. These are some chunky knitting needles. This is a 10.5. So I was never able to, like, find this pattern. The best thing that I was able to do was I spoke with one person who was able to tell me that the design, like based on the information that I had, was a Laura Wheeler mail order from a newspaper pattern. But I have not been able to find, like, this is all that I was able to get. Ah, that's so cool. I love finding fun stuff at the thrift store. Yeah, so this was the best that I could find. Yeah, it's a mystery. I did not realize how busy this pattern was going to look on camera. This yarn, I should say. But that's okay. We did figure out one of the things that I was really struggling with, and that's why I hadn't worked on the project further, was understanding like some of these instructions, especially without any kind of visual, like, this is what I'm making. So one of the things that it talked about was like a button band, and then like a buttonhole band, right? So that's how you button up the jacket. But there's also a neck that has stitches that are not finished, and I'm like, does the band wrap around? But then we realized that the left behind stuff was for the hood. So we were able to figure that out in like the first hour of stream today. And so after this, I'll be able to also do the button band, because we were able to figure out what the heck that all meant, which is exciting. So but it's gonna be like a true one of a kind. I could make other versions of this because I have the pattern. I don't know necessarily how they made, like, what alterations they made to make this the size that it is. So it's a true one of a kind piece. And then one more. And then I bind off, and then I use a darning needle and matching colored yarn, sew end stitches of pocket band at each end of rows to front. So I think that I fold it over and I tack it down. I think that's what that's telling me to do. Now again, we don't share patterns here that are paid for. This pattern is from the 70s. I cannot find a paid for version of it. I will not be giving the whole pattern. But I think that reading bits and pieces of it here to try and salvage something and, you know, have it work, I think is okay. Like, if you all can figure out how to make this sweater from the tiny bit that I'm reading out loud, then you're a lot smarter than anyone I know. But don't be sharing patterns, even if they're old. Okay. Now we bind off. Does it say how? Bind and ribbing. Okay. Oh, that's fun. You can be like, look what I found. I love when that happens. This is not how I normally bind off, but using like multiple strands. I actually normally bind off using a crochet hook. But I've got 2 strands. Maybe I should. Mm. Mm. No, we'll keep going. It will be, yeah. 2 strands held together. I agree. See, honestly, this is the way to knit a sweater. 2 strands of yarn, size 10.5 knitting needles. Knitting sweaters takes forever. But this... this is nice. Alright. And then I assume that this just gets folded over like that. Because it says, using a darning needle and matching color yarn, sew end stitches of pocket band at each end of rows to front. Sew pocket insert around 3 sides on wrong side to form pocket. So yeah, that to me says we fold her over and attach, but I'm gonna do the other side first and then attach both sides. Because I got the groove now. I don't want to... Oh my gosh, another pin. Trying to do me in. It's interesting how they kept this, like, closed and keep the stitches from coming apart. Like, this method of, like, kind of sewing the top and the bottom together. Very interesting. And done in a contrasting color so it was easy to see. These ladies knew what they were doing. That's for sure. And you know, I can't really be all that I can't be that frustrated about lack of notes, because Lord knows if anyone ever found my patterns, my like mostly finished projects, they would be like, what is this? What am I looking at? Hello? $11, $12. I hope this is interesting. I'm realizing it might not be. It might just be interesting to me. It's fascinating. It is. I'm just super. No, you're fine. I'm mostly just like worried because it's obviously the yarn is really busy on the camera. And I didn't think about that. And so I'm just like, oh no. Maybe this isn't so nice to look at. Alright, honestly, perfect timing on the ads part, because we just picked up all these stitches. So we'll take our stretch break now. We'll knit this other pocket thing. We'll sew them both down. And then I guess we're going to pick up and knit the button things. So we're gonna get some stuff done today. And if y'all want, I will continue working on it on stream. If y'all just want to see the finished product, that's okay too. Alright. I shall be right back. Ooh, diamond dotting. Heck yeah. It's different. That's what I thought. I thought it might be interesting to, like, see it. I don't know. To, like, figure it out together. I don't know. Okay, be right back. You know, just as ads were ending, Chewy ended up coming. And drop this bad boy off. So I didn't want that sitting out. But yeah. So I was looking, 2 access modes. Closed mode. Door remains closed, only opens when the pet with the program microchip approaches. Open mode. Door remains open and only closes when a pet with a non-programmed microchip approaches. So, here's the thing. I have to make sure that it works with the girls' microchips, right? Like that their placement's okay. This cardboard smells gross. Ugh. If it does, then maybe I'll save up and get another one. Because Pippin doesn't wear a collar. So... I just want to see this thing. Oh my god. Yeah, it takes a lot of stress off of me if it works well. Oh, hi, you're here. Because she wants food right now. Steps for smooth sailing to chaos-free feeding. Do you hear that? Okay. I gotta wash all of that. That's, I think, been one of the most... I mean, it's silly that that's an annoying thing. Because, honestly, what should be annoying is that the $120 one didn't work. And I had to get a $250 one. That's the annoying bit. But the other annoying bit, outside of the money, has been having to wash a new auto feeder 2 times. Because I washed it once when we first got it. And then because we returned it, I had to wash it again. This is nice, though. Okay. Alright, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go put this in the other room. I just wanted to show it to you all. You want your food, girlie? I got you. Here. There you go. All for you. This is also nice. That's the RFID reader. So if for whatever reason the microchip doesn't work, this little rubber guy goes on their collar. And sits again, like, instead of it dangling, it's rubbery. That's also a lot of silica gel. Anyway. Back to the sweater at hand. Nailed it. No, you're so good. It's okay. I'm good. It wasn't like one of my favorites. Nah, you're good. Yeah, it was funny. I got up, went to get a drink, was walking back and saw like the person dropping off the Chewy box, and I was like, okay. Good timing. Already, Elf? Dang. That's awesome. Oh, that's a quick pattern. Love to see it. No, 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 no. Don't drop the stitch. Or just keep dropping it. That's clearly what I meant. One more, and then we cast off. And then this will be done. wonder if my dad's looked into that ancestry thing at all. It stinks when, like, certain mysteries, like, you're just not gonna solve unless you can, I don't know, get creative. And some things are just never gonna be answered. Worked in the round? Oh. Yeah, that is nice. It's always interesting to me how, like, different stitches put together can make, I don't know, so many different combinations of things. Listen, I don't have the brain cell either. I'm not sure where it's at. Brain cell, don't look at me. It's not in the wall with me. Silly, have you worked from your new office yet? Oh no, not the headache. But yeah, you don't really get remote days. Gotcha. I wasn't sure if you were, like, doing a little bit more remote stuff while you guys were moving. I'm so proud of the kitties being so brave. It's definitely something I've thought about, like, if we ever move, like, my cats are gonna be like, what? Especially, like, Maple and Pippin, who, like, Artie definitely was someone's cat before. Like, she understood how houses worked, and nothing really startled her, but Maple and Pippin, everything was brand new to them. And I can almost picture them being like, there are more of these? There are more of these buildings? They're being so brave. Lexi is now exploring. Good babies. Proud of them. Clippies. The Clippies were back where they belong. And now on the floor. Oh, poor Bud. Poor babies. Yeah, I gotta redo this side. I realized that my tension was a little bit off. I became very much making amigurumi as I was knitting. And I realized that this wasn't fitting right. So I did it looser on the second side and it looks better. Oh. Such is life. Don't be afraid to redo things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just gotta, in order to make it... I feel like so often, especially like social media, where we always get like the most perfect version of everything. There's never any flaws, there's never any problems, everything comes out perfect the first time. So even me, like, on the stretch break, when I went to go get the box, initially I was like, maybe I'll just do it off camera, because, like, I was embarrassed that I made a mistake. It becomes very much like when you do stuff like this, I feel like, at least, where I'm like, oh, but people come to me to ask questions, and I have to be perfect all the time, but guess what? I'm a human. Yeah, I'm making a lot of this up as I go. Literally with this. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't come out exactly how I thought it was going to. And you know what? I think that redoing it on camera and saying that it isn't always perfect actually might be more important than pretending that it was. Especially if there are people watching who are newer to a craft who feel like they have, like, oh, it's not perfect, I'm no good at it. Gotta give it up. Oh, thank you, Elf. I appreciate that. People who portray perfection don't learn as much from what they do. Yeah. Hey, look, I didn't miss this Pokemon. If anything, I was more nervous about frogging than knitting, because frogging knitting is... Listen, I don't know how Aunt Shirley and all of them could do it without profusely sweating and panicking. Because she would also just, like... She would measure something that she was making us. Like, we put it on and she'd be like, nope, too big, and just be like... And just, like, rip it out. And I'm like, now, as I got older and I learned more about knitting and crocheting and all that, watching her frog knitting was like, how? And she's like, what do you mean? Like, just still doing it without, like... It's crazy to watch. Like, genuinely no fear in this woman. Yeah, no, she wasn't even like, oh, I have to frog this many rows. She's like, it's like about 3 inches too big. And then she just eyeball it. And then would measure it again and be like, yep, that's good. Or, oh, no, a little more. Or whatever. Gave you anxiety? You didn't even really knit. Yeah, you didn't knit as much. No, you didn't really knit back then. I love knitting wizards, yeah. Also, I just... This is my Aunt Shirley at our wedding. Just to give you a face to the name that I keep talking about. This little lady. It's just... Oh... Oh, she is the best. She also had like a mouth like a sailor. Like it was because of her that I cursed when I was a child. And you know, she did not mince words. If she didn't like you, she wasn't going to pretend that she did. Which honestly, iconic. It also meant that she told my mom that she hated her trolls and thought they were ugly. My mom really loved trolls growing up. And Aunt Shirley was like, oh. I'm not going to not use swear words, yeah. No, I think I would be very much the same way. Like, I don't think that kids are gonna say and no bad, like, you know, curse words. It's just a matter of fact. It's almost like showing them proper ways of using it. It's just like, you know, I think of like alcohol. Like kids are going to or young adults or whatever are going to be exposed to it eventually. Kids should not be, you know what I mean. And having it modeled appropriately by their parents is kind of important, you know? Oh my god, she had so much sass. She was such a little lady, so much sass. But, like, the bottom line is that, like, she would... Even if she didn't like you, she would still take care of you. She would still make sure that, like, you were okay. Afterwards, she'd be like, I hate that person. But, like, in the moment... You can see that? Yeah. There's a difference between being sassy and being mean. Agreed. Learning how to use the word is more important, yeah. We don't refer to people as insert favorite bad word here, but we can use it in a way to emphasize that, like, that hurt. Yes. Agreed. This doesn't want to come off nicely. There we go. It's like when people get mad that kids know, like, the proper names of, like, body parts. And you're like, you do understand that they are going to eventually learn this, right? Like, I don't know why you're upset that, like, a child can properly name anatomy, but go off, I guess. Like, have a safe drive home. Yes. A lot of them are people trying to make laws about those parts that they don't even know. Like, I guarantee you that if you ask any people who are, like, trying to vote or make abortions illegal, if you gave them the female reproductive system and asked them to label it, they couldn't. Like, one of my favorite things, right, where there was this person who was interviewing, I don't even remember who, you know, and trying to challenge the idea that, like, oh, you know, life begins at conception and this and the other thing, and, like, he was showing a picture of, you know, a fetus in a womb. Nothing is really developed. And they, you know, challenging this person, like, you know, you're telling me that this is, like, a full, you know, human and, like, it needs the same rights. And the person was like, yes, I do say that. And he goes, that's a dolphin embryo. So, like, it wasn't even a human one. Like, and these people, oh, and they're getting all upset and being like, yes, it deserves the same, and like, it wasn't even, and you're like, no, you're good. Hey, people who refuse to teach their kids proper anatomy makes things so much harder. Yeah, not to mention if something horrible happens, they can't even tell a trusted adult about it properly. Yeah. Yes. No, absolutely, because if you can't explain, heck, even, like, understanding, like, just, you know, and again, I don't think that, like, you should, necessarily teach, like, a 5-year-old everything because it's too much for them to, like, understand. But, like, age-appropriate stuff. Like, teach them some basics, you know? And then evolve it as they get older, like, naturally. You know, you can start to introduce more words. Like, a 5-year-old's not necessarily going to need to understand, again, the whole reproductive organs and how they work, but, like, the proper names for things instead of being like, that's your pee-pee. Like, no. You know? Use, like, the proper words. But it's not like they need to understand, like, ovulation and, like, how periods work. They need to understand that, and they need to understand that young, but they don't need to understand that, like, right off the bat, because it would just be too confusing for them. They can't conceptualize at certain ages, like, but they're the basics they can by proper name. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yep, the parts that you can see, talk about those first and get to the other things later. I feel like as more people, well, I guess it depends on your own thinking, but I feel like more people our age, or who were born of a certain time, think the same way. you know? With like, no, we're gonna use the right words. We're going to not shy away. Like, if you say a bad word, we might talk about like, hey, we can't say this word at school. That's the other thing too. I have to even correct it's not a bad word. It's a curse word. There's a difference. There's no bad, well, there are very few bad words. There's not no bad words. There are some that you just don't say, period. Period. But other than those, like, select few, they're just curse words. It's not, you know. Where the heck did my... There they are. Yes! Giving it a weird nickname, Elf. I agree. Correct, Elf. That's where I was like, yeah, there's no such thing as bad... Wait. No, there's definitely bad words. But curse words are not part of that, like, bad word category in my mind. I'm not a creep or whatever. Yeah. No, and I think that it also helps too, like, if kids aren't feeling well, or if something doesn't feel right. Like, sometimes it can be hard to explain. Like, I think of, you know, like, UTIs. UTIs happen. And if you can't explain, like, what is hurting, and you're just like, this thing hurts, and you're like, okay, versus this part hurts, you know, it can be more confusing to try and figure out what the heck they're trying to tell you. No such thing as late. Hi, Emily. They're slur. Yes. Correct. Yeah. And even then, it's like, they should also know the difference of those, too. Like, and why we don't say those words. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't use this word because it's offensive to this group of people, or it's insensitive to this, or whatever, you know? Like, not just being like, we don't say that, because then they don't know why, and then if they... Some kids are going to be like, well, you said I can't say it, so I'm gonna say it. And you're like, no, no, no. No, no. Oh, no worries, Smoothie. Have a good night. But if you can explain, like, listen, if you say this, it would upset people because of this reason, then they're less likely to be like, well, I'm going to say it because I want to get a reaction from people. They're going to be like, oh, wait. This is mean to fill in the blank, so I don't want to say it. That's why in learning lots of things are so important, yeah. And it's why we should all continue to learn. My balls! Kids understand logic so much better. Yeah. Maybe I'll use a fancier ball. But yeah, kids are smart, and they don't get enough credit. Also, gender norms. Heck those. That is one thing I will say that my parents did a very good job of with my brother and I. I got Matchbox cars. I also got a little kitchen set. I got a dollhouse. I got a tool bench. Like, it was not, oh, well, that's a boy thing, or that's a girl thing. My brother wanted to play with my old baby dolls. He was allowed to. Like, the dollhouse was kept up for both of us to play with. You know, I was 8.5 years older than him. Like, it was clearly more him playing. Like, there was not... Now, granted, there were also things that we were both more interested in. Like, he was more interested in, you know, Thomas trains than I was. But it wasn't like I was told I wasn't allowed to be interested in them. I just wasn't, you know. That's not yours, or don't stand on that. That's an owie. I got an egg. Eggs. What do I have to do to hatch it? This looks like that battle egg again. God damn it, I'm not gonna battle. Give me normal hatching eggs. Flip's desk. I went to the military. My mom realized just how much my dad failed you. Because I didn't know the difference between a torque wrench and a breaker bar when I started training. Graduated top of my class at the end, yeah. Mom thought I knew more about tools. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily that, like... I mean, I helped my dad out around the house all the time. I followed him, you know. Like, I loved it. It wasn't even necessarily that, like, I was taught all, like, the proper names. Like, even I would struggle with certain things. But... I know how to patch drywall. I know how to change a tire and change a battery in a car and, you know, jumpstart a car and, you know, fill air and pump gas. Even though we grew up in Jersey and you're not allowed to pump your own gas in Jersey, but when we would go on vacation and we'd have to pump our own gas, I was taught there instead. Because again, it's just stuff that you learn by watching or doing or asking questions about. So, you know, can I do all the things? No. But can I cut down a tree? Yeah. Can I, you know, use the lawnmower? Can I weed whack? Can I, you know, all those things. Like, yeah, yes. Oh, interesting. Like, I can understand there are times where having a kid in the garage, like, underfoot might be bad, might be dangerous. But... yeah, that stinks. Yeah, I didn't take any shop classes. We had, like, a wood shop class in high school. I don't think that we even had, like, you know, a car, like, shop class. We had home ec in middle school, and then when we got to high school, it split. So, like, there were cooking classes that you could do. There was, like, writing. Like, they kind of split it up into more, like, varied, like, specific classes instead of just, like, a general home ec. But thinking about it, I don't even think that they had, like, a sewing class in high school. I took it in middle school. That was how I learned how to use a sewing machine. No one in my family was, like, a seamstress. Everyone did yarn stuff. So... okay. Scissor? Okay. Oh, I put it back where it belongs. Who am I? hate that for you. I hate people like that. Like, if you can't be happy with, like, your child being whoever they are, don't have a child. Just don't do it. And those people who are like, oh, I will be happy and you, like, they know that they're not going to be happy don't play that game. That's not fair to the kid. It's not fair to your partner. Put them in no contact, yeah. Or docked, yeah. But even then, I feel like, I don't know, it feels like nothing in life is certain. Health, anything, you know? And I think about people who are like, well, I'll just adopt because then whatever. But, like, guess what? People grow and change if you know, or like, oh, I only want a son, and guess what? Your kid is now non-binary. What happens if they are trans? What happens if they're gay? Like, there's so many things that can be problematic about that too. I feel like it starts to become very Anne of Green Gables. I wanted a boy to work the farm, and they got a girl. Can we just talk about how Anne with an E was one of the greatest adaptations of Anne of Green Gables ever? And it is a crime that it was canceled. An actual crime. It was so good. I have to have a son or daughter. Usually also feel like they have to be made from the... Yeah. I feel like a lot of those people end up being like that because... Well, there's a couple of reasons, right? You either have people who want their child to live out the dreams that they themselves didn't get to live out. They want a child to carry on a family name, a family tradition, whatever. Or they're just weird. Some people, like, feel like they can only love fill in the blank, you know? Yeah. It was just so wonderfully, like, done. The cast was perfect. The sets were perfect. The outfits were perfect. Like, it was so good. I don't think it was. No, it was Netflix. It evidently premiered. It was also on CBC because it was a Canadian show. Like, it was filmed in Canada. So it was on Canadian broadcast, but also Netflix. So those are the only two places. So we may want to mechanic the other boxing champ. Yeah. Who cares? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's also important to like say you're not a bad person if you're hoping for one or the other, right? Some people are hoping for a boy or hoping for a girl, but they're not upset if they get the other. That's the difference. Like, you're allowed to think like, oh, I hope this because maybe you just, I don't know, you feel like you're able to parent better for a boy, or but like it's different to be like, you see like some people with these like gender reveal meltdowns, you know, and that's where it's like, that's the problem. Like, if you're gonna have a meltdown, and I'm not even talking about like a meltdown, like a positive one, right? Like some people cry and get all excited. Some people, I've seen some moms become overwhelmed and like frustrated too. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're also like extremely hormonal. Like, you can tell like there are people who aren't actually like upset or disappointed, but they're just like, maybe they already have like a bunch of boys and they were really hoping for a girl. And you can kind of tell that they're like, oh God, what have I signed up for? But they're not actually like upset about it. A boy is harder to change diapers for. Because they just like, yeah, no. You feel less concerned about like UTIs and issues because, what do you mean, how? Boys, as soon as cold air touches them down there, they start peeing. Everywhere. Girls, that doesn't happen. That, yeah, James is worried about wiping the wrong way and, like, giving a kid, like, a UTI because they wiped the wrong way. I don't really have plans for Bee's life. I just want her to live, yeah. Make changes. Yeah, like, I think that it's okay to, I think everybody has an initial, like, we all think certain things when we meet someone for the first time, even, you know, kids, whether they're ours or they're not. We kind of start making plans. It's human nature. It's like, I've also said this before, like, I feel like when there are times when we have like a knee-jerk reaction when we see someone, and like maybe our gut is like, oh my gosh, they're dangerous, or oh my gosh, they're scary, or and the important thing is not that you had that thought, it's how you act on that thought. Because like our instinct is there from when we had to, you know, try and protect ourselves right away. And it's okay. It's okay to have those instinct thoughts. Like, it's okay to be like, oh, I really wanted a boy or a girl, but you don't act on it. You know what I mean? Where you don't necessarily, you could be like, oh, that person looks fill in the blank. But acting on it is different than just thinking it. And even like acknowledging like, wait, why did I think that? And sometimes it's like, well, maybe, like, I know as a woman, a lot of times if I'm out and it is dark and I see a man, again, this is all very generalized, and they might be, like, the other day I went to the supermarket and there was like a group of guys hanging out by the door. Now, I didn't scream at them, I didn't pepper spray them or call the cops on them, but I was nervous because it just felt really weird. Like, why are we all hanging out by the door? And that instinct is, okay, let's be aware of what's going on. But we're not acting on it by, like, making a situation out of nothing, you know? Disappointment is valid, but not when it's like, no, yeah. To throw in Dad's face, because it's, yeah. No desire, yeah. Like, and I also think a lot of times we can be like, oh, like, for instance, there's a part of me that thinks it'd be really fun to have, like, a little girl to do, like, dance class, because I loved dance. I loved it. But there, again, there's nothing saying that a boy can't. There were guys that danced. There's a need for men that can dance. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, sometimes you think like, oh, I just want to like share something that I enjoyed with my kid. You know? But I'm also like a huge baseball person. That's going to be shared with a kid regardless of anything else. Like, sorry, I'm so sorry you were born into a Met household. Truly. I'm so sorry for that, but here you are for good or for bad. No. Yankees went out as a legitimate option the last couple of years. No. Because they don't care about people. They're not good role models. Listen, if the Mets pulled the same stuff that the Yankees had pulled, I would say the same thing. Alright. Well, we didn't get a lot done today. But we got Pocket, I don't know, thingies done. And more importantly, we figured out the next steps for the other stuff that didn't get done today. So, if y'all are down, I'm thinking that we do the button things tomorrow. It kind of makes me nervous that they want me to, like, do the ribbing in this direction. Not this way. Like, not in rows like this. They want long rows like that. Yeah, there was a lot of problem solving today. I think that's what it is, Elf. It's talked about more. And so it's more normalized, and then other people can think about it, and other people can talk about it, and other people can, like, form opinions. In ways that we couldn't before, like, just social media alone. Like, being able to share learned experiences and stuff. Yeah. Alright. I would love to keep going, but I have a lawn to mow. And garbage cans to pull to the street. So I'm gonna skedaddle, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll work on this some more. Let me clean this up, though, before I do anything, because the last thing I need is a cat coming in here and yakking on something that I can't clean. The town we grew up in anymore? Yeah. For good or for bad, we can see a lot more of the world and a lot more of what's happening in it. Alright. That is it for us today, but we will get back to this tomorrow. And, yeah, I'll see you then. Have a really good rest of your time zone. Thanks for having some good chats with me here. I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow at 3. Come join the Discord if you'd like. Here's our socials. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Eat something tasty. Drink some water. Take any meds you have to take. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to other people. Remember, you are loved. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, friends. Goodbye.